As promised, everyone, in studio with us, we have Mr. Nick Geraghty, freshly shaven, so dapper. Nick with DHA Loan and Mortgaging and everything else. Good and awesome. How are you, brother?
I'm good. How are you, Eric?
I'm very well. We were talking about favorite movies before we delved in, and you immediately jumped to The Big Short. Is that for real? Is that your favorite movie?
So I've got a lot of favorite movies. Zoolander's, I think, still got to stay up there. I know that's kind of funny, but Big Short, honestly,
can I make a bold statement right now?
Go for it.
Ben Stiller is a horrible actor.
Oof, that one hurts.
Yeah.
That one hurts. I disagree strongly.
I enjoy Zoolander. I enjoy Dodgeball. Everything else is very, very mediocre.
Okay.
Are we fighting now? Is that what's happening?
A little bit, but it's okay. We'll get over it.
Okay. So you love Zoolander. The Big Short is up there too?
Most definitely. Love the movie. Yeah.
Okay. Walk people through The Big Short, because I'm not sure everybody fully understands, and this is not a movie review segment, although that would be fun.
Yeah. So I guess my favorite part about The Big Short is it kind of puts into layman's terms what happened in 2007, 2008. And that's, I know I'm really geeking out because I'm a mortgage guy and it's a mortgage movie. But I love that it gives everybody the opportunity to really understand, what was going on before the market crash, as far as you can get a mortgage app in your dog's name. There's a scene about that. And then it kind of breaks down, stops the scenes, and explains what's going on, which I love because, as a mortgage guy now, I can always go back and say, hey, do you remember what happened in 2007, 2008?
Are you like assigning homework to people, being like, before you come back and get this loan, you need to watch this movie. You need to watch Zoolander.
Yeah.
And you need to watch The Big Short.
Send me pay stubs, watch The Big Short, updated taxes. Yeah, it's on the list.
And work on Blue Steel.
Right. Yeah.
So The Big Short, and folks, if you haven't seen it, it's a really good movie. Christian Bale is brilliant in it, and Steve Carell, and just a ton of great actors. I took our entire team to The Big Short a couple years ago when it was in the theater, because it was that important, I think, to understand what happened in the mortgage industry.
Agreed.
And where we find ourselves now, 12 years later, is maybe nowhere near the chaos of what that was, and it's harder to get a mortgage now, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, what does it take to get a mortgage? Because back in 2007, 2008, as the movie showed, you could get a mortgage in your dog's name, and if you had a job that paid you $20,000 a year, you would qualify for a $400,000 house because they just were giving it out.
Yep.
What's changed now?
Well, going from getting an application in your dog's name and saying I make $100,000 to where we're at now. Now it's prove everything.
Okay, so it's not just take somebody at their word.
Exactly. And that's where most of the hassle in the mortgage process comes from. That's where the bad rap comes from right now is it was such a hassle. I had to get my pay stubs, my taxes, my W-2s. And that's why I'm always such an advocate for upfront the first time we talk is, we don't have to have all this today because you're not buying a house today. But your biggest pain points is going to be get your taxes, get your W-2s, get those pay stubs. Because thinking back, we got to prove everything now. Yep.
Well, that's somebody else's money that's getting lent out,
right?
Whether it be the government's money or if you're doing in-house financing that comes from a local bank.
Yep.
People want to make sure that you actually have what you say you have, that you make what you say you make.
Exactly.
And we had an instance in a situation recently where the person said, I make X amount a year. Right?
Yep.
They were clear. They were specific. They said last year I made, and I'm going to just use make up words here because I don't want to get specific on this. I make $45,000 a year. So you ran everything. You ran all the numbers, and you're like, yeah, everything's good, right?
Right. Yep.
But the problem was they were contracted not to make $45,000 a year. They had overtime pay and extra hours on that, right?
Exactly. Yep. And that's even one of those things. Sometimes pay stubs don't paint a full picture as well. So, that's why it's so important to have those conversations with your lender and your agents up front of full discrepancy. This is my situation. All cards on the table. Because when you, as a lender and as an agent, know everything about your client, it's just going to be that much more smooth of a process. We know what roadblocks are going to be ahead of us, what to get over, how to handle that. So
So obviously, Nick, knowledge is power, and folks, those of you just
Amen.
tuning in, Nick Geraghty, mortgage lender extraordinaire, in studio with us, and Nick, knowledge is power. And in that situation with that gentleman, even though he was making enough to buy a house,
Yep.
he was not contracted from his employer
Correct.
with enough guaranteed hours to qualify for the house.
Yep, and that came down to an amount of time of how long he's been on the job. So, you've proven a track record of 2 years having that type of
Yep.
income. Okay, now we can start to average some of that out. If you're brand new, again, it's worst case scenarios, those type of things that aren't the same every paycheck. It is going to be a little bit of a hassle because we got to see, can we prove this?
You're getting a house,
Right.
Like, let's slow that. Like, you're getting your biggest financial investment that you'll have. And
Bingo.
so there's going to be some extra boxes to check. And it's not like The Big Short of 10 and 12 years ago where
Bingo.
you could show up and say, this is what I make. It takes extra work now.
Absolutely.
And Nick, I applaud you because you're always diligent on seeing this extra work through, and you're working extremely hard for your clients. But right now, we have like a coupon for people. We have a deal that's out there because you were telling me, and before we got on air as well, that now we're at for 2 year, like walk me through it. Rates are lower now than they have been for the last 2 years. Is that right?
Last 2 full years, if you can believe it. Yeah. If there's, not to go crazy into econ talk, we don't have a ton of time, but if there's one small benefit to all these trade talks and tariff talks is people are pulling money out of stocks again, and when they do that, rates keep going down. So we're at another week low, and it's the best they've been in 2 full years, hitting 4%, sometimes less than 4% on a 30-year fixed, which is awesome. That's 5% just back in December, if you can believe it.
Yeah, so that's a huge change, a change of almost a full percentage. That full percentage on a $200,000 loan is something like $30 or $40 or $50,000 over the life of the loan, is it not?
Yeah, if not more, yeah, depending on your purchase price, but it makes a huge difference. Just even on your monthly payment, we're talking $100 or more on just the payment.
So let's $100 a month for 30 years. You're talking 360 payments of $100
because
that's
of time.
$36,000. So if you bought a $200,000 house in December, or you buy a $200,000 house now, you put down the same amount of everything, you're going to save yourself roughly $36,000 by buying today.
Not a bad deal, huh?
No.
Yeah.
If ever we're a sense of urgency because we have more houses on the market now than we've had this season for the last few years. And right now we're also seeing that there's negotiating room too. Mm-hmm. It's time to get off your hiney. Talk to Nick, get pre-approved, figure out what it is you can do to get a loan. Nick, how do people contact you?
Yeah, you can contact me, dhaloan.com, and under the top tab, Meet the Team, you will find my email, my phone number. Again, that was dhaloan.com.
Heck, you can even contact us at Hatch Realty. We'll get you in touch with this superstar. Nick Geraghty, DHA Mortgage and Loan, thanks very much. Folks, we're going to head to break. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.